Hello and welcome to this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is my roots. After the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the key information. Are you ready? Let's begin. I was born in Chicago. Chicago is a big city in America. It is in the state of Illinois. Chicago has many tall buildings and a beautiful lake called Lake Michigan. My parents are from Sicily, a beautiful island in Italy. It is in the south of the country. When I was a child, my home was special. My mother cooked Sicilian food. We ate pasta, arancini, and cannoli. Arancini are rice balls with cheese inside. Cannoli are sweet pastries with cream. My father spoke Italian at home. He wanted me to remember the language. We had photos of Sicily on our walls. I saw pictures of the blue sea, of the green mountains, and of the old buildings. My mother woke up early every morning. She made coffee in a small pot called mocha. The smell of coffee filled our house. My father read Italian newspapers. He listened to Italian radio. They wanted to keep our culture alive in America. On weekends, we visited my grandparents. They lived in a small apartment in an area of Chicago called Little Italy. Many Italian families lived there. My grandmother told me stories about Sicily. She talked about her childhood in the small village. She showed me how to make traditional food. I learned to make pasta by hand. My grandfather played old Sicilian songs on his guitar. He sang with a deep, warm voice. Sometimes other Italian families came to visit. They brought food and wine. They talked in Italian and laughed a lot. At school, I had American friends. I spoke English with them. I ate hamburgers and pizza. American pizza is different from Italian pizza. I watched American shows. I celebrated American holidays like Thanksgiving and Halloween. I felt American when I was at school. But at home, I felt Sicilian. I learned Italian words. I learned about Sicilian history. Sicily has a long history with many different cultures. My parents said, never forget where you come from. This was very important to them. In the summer, my family went to the beach in Chicago. My parents always said the beaches in Sicily are more beautiful. They showed me pictures of the clear blue water and white sand. I dreamed of seeing these beaches one day. When I was 10 years old, we visited Sicily for the first time. We stayed for 1 month. We visited my aunts, my uncles, and my cousins. They were so happy to see us. They gave us many gifts. We ate big family dinners that lasted for hours. The food was amazing. Fresh vegetables, seafood, and delicious desserts. In Sicily, I saw the places from my parents' stories. I saw the village where my mother was born. I saw the school where my father studied. I saw the church where they got married. Everything felt familiar, even though it was my first visit. After that summer, we visit Sicily every few years. Each time I felt more connected to the island. I loved the warm weather, the friendly people, and the relaxed lifestyle. When I was in high school, some friends asked me about my family. They were interested in my Sicilian roots. I felt proud to be different. I brought Sicilian cookies to school parties. I taught my friends Italian words. They thought that it was cool that I had two cultures. I went to university in Chicago. I studied business. During those years, I became more American. I was very busy with my studies and work. I visited my parents less often. I spoke Italian less frequently, but I still loved Sicilian food and traditions. When I was 30, my parents decided to go back to Sicily. They missed their homeland. They missed the warm weather, the food, and their old friends. They bought a small house in their hometown. I stayed in Chicago. I had a good job there. I visited them every summer. I loved the beaches, the food, and the people. Sicily felt like a second home to me. I started to think about my own identity. Was I American? Was I Sicilian? I felt connected to both places. 5 years ago, I made a big decision. I moved to Sicily too. It was not easy. I had to find a new job. I had to improve my Italian. I had to make new friends. But I felt that that was the right choice for me. Now I live in a small town near Palermo. Palermo is the capital of Sicily. I work as an English teacher. Many people in Sicily want to learn English. I speak Italian every day now. Sometimes I make mistakes, but people are patient with me. I eat fresh local food. fruits and vegetables from local farms, fish from the Mediterranean Sea. My apartment is small, but it has a beautiful view of the sea. In the morning, I drink my coffee on my balcony. I watch the fishermen bring in their boats. In the evening, I walk along the beach. I meet friends at local cafes. Life is slower here than in Chicago, but I enjoy it. I have made many friends in Sicily. Some are locals who have lived here all their lives. Others are people like me who moved here from different countries. We share our experiences and help each other. Sometimes I miss Chicago. I miss the tall buildings. I miss the snow in the winter. I miss the busy streets and the energy of the city. I miss my old friends and my favorite restaurants. When I feel homesick, I call my friends in America or make American food at home. But Sicily feels like home now. The local people call me the American, but they accept me as part of their community. I understand my roots better now. I see why my parents and grandparents loved this island so much. I appreciate the history, the traditions, and the values. I am both American and Sicilian. My two cultures make me who I am. I speak two languages. I know two different ways of life. I can see the world from two perspectives. This is a special gift. In the future, I want to create a small business that connects America and Sicily. Maybe a shop that sells Sicilian products in America, or a service that helps America discover Sicily. I want to be a bridge between my two homes. Every morning, I wake up grateful for my journey. I am grateful for my parents who kept their traditions alive. I am grateful for my two homes and my two cultures. I am grateful for the chance to understand my roots and grow new ones. Now, let's check on your understanding. Answer these questions. Where was I born? I was born in Chicago, in America. Where is Sicily? Sicily is a beautiful island in the south of Italy. What's my job now? I work as an English teacher. Why did my parents move back to Sicily? They missed their homeland, the warm weather, the food, and their old friends. How do I feel about having two cultures? I feel it is a special gift to have two cultures. I can speak two languages and see the world from two perspectives. If you have answered correctly to all the questions, you have done a very good job. Keep working and see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is my favorite film, Dirty Dancing. After the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the key information. Are you ready? Let's begin. My favorite film is Dirty Dancing. It is an American film from 1987. I first watched it when I was a teenager. Now I am 40 years old and I still love this film. Dirty Dancing is a love story. It takes place in the summer of 1963. The story happens at a holiday resort called Kellersman's. A resort is a place where people go for vacation. Kellersman's is in the mountains, in a place called the Catskills in New York. The main character is a young woman named Frances Houseman. Everyone calls her Baby. She is 17 years old. Baby goes on vacation with her family. Her father, her mother, and her older sister Lisa. Her father is a doctor. He is a good man who wants to help people. Her mother is a kind woman who loves her family. Her sister Lisa likes fashion and boys. Baby is different from her sister. She is interested in serious things. She wants to study economics and help poor countries. She is intelligent and kind. At the resort, Baby meets a dance teacher called Johnny Castle. Johnny is 25 years old. He has dark hair and is very handsome. Johnny teaches dance to the guests during the day. The guests are rich people who come to the resort for vacation. One night, Baby follows Billy, who works at the resort, to a secret party. This party is for the staff, the people who work at the resort. They are not rich like the guests. At this party, Baby sees different kind of dancing. The staff dance very close to each other. Their bodies move with the music in a sensual way. Johnny calls it dirty dancing. This dancing is very different from the formal dances that the guests do. Baby is fascinated by this dancing. She watches Johnny dance with his partner, Benny Johnson. Penny is a beautiful woman with blonde hair. She and Johnny dance wonderfully together. A few days later, Baby learns that Penny has a problem. Penny is pregnant. The father of the baby is a waiter named Robbie. Robbie does not want to help Penny. Penny needs money for the doctor. She also needs to miss a dancing show at another resort. This show is important because it pays a lot of money. Baby wants to help Penny. First, she asks her father for money without telling him why. Then she offers to learn to dance and replace Penny in the show. Johnny thinks this is a bad idea because Baby does not know how to dance like them. But they don't have another option. Johnny begins to teach Baby how to dance. They practice in his cabin, in the studio, and even in a lake. The training is hard. Baby must learn many difficult steps. At first, she is not good at dancing. She steps on Johnny's feet and forgets the steps. But Johnny is patient with her. He is a good teacher. As they practice together every day, something beautiful happens. Baby and Johnny start to fall in love. Baby likes Johnny's passion for dance and his kind heart. Johnny likes that Baby is different from other rich girls. She cares about people and wants to help. The day of the show arrives. Baby and Johnny travel to another resort to perform. Baby is very nervous, but Johnny helps her feel confident. Their dance is not perfect, but they complete it. When they return to Kellerman's, they learn that the doctor Baby's father recommended for Penny did not do a good job. Penny is in pain. Baby runs to get her father to help Penny. Dr. Houseman helps Penny, but he is angry with Baby. He thinks Johnny is responsible for Penny's pregnancy. He tells Baby to stay away from Johnny and the staff. Baby obeys her father during the day, but at night she secretly goes to Johnny. Their love grows stronger. They spend more time together. Johnny teaches Baby more about dance and about his life. Baby helps Johnny believe in himself and his dreams. One night, Johnny's friend is in trouble. The police come to the resort to arrest him. Johnny has an alibi. He was with Baby all night. Baby confirms this to her father and everyone. But now Dr. Houseman knows that Baby disobeyed him. He is very disappointed in her. Johnny loses his job at the resort because the manager, Mr. Kellerman, does not want him to have relationships with guests. Johnny decides to leave the resort. Baby is very sad. She thinks she will never see Johnny again. The summer is ending. Kellerman's has a big final show on the last night. All the guests and the staff attend. Baby sits with her family, feeling sad because Johnny is gone. But then something amazing happens. Johnny comes back to the resort. He walks into the hall during the final show. He goes to Baby's table and says the famous line, "Nobody puts Baby in a corner." This means that nobody should make Baby sit quietly in the background. She deserves to be seen and heard. Johnny takes Baby to the stage. He tells everyone that she helped him believe in himself. He wants to do the last dance of the season with her. They begin to dance to a song called "The Time of My Life." Their dance is beautiful and passionate. They do all the steps perfectly, including the difficult lift where Johnny holds Baby above his head. Everyone watches in amazement, including Baby's family. Her father finally sees how special Johnny is and how happy he makes Baby. After the dance, Dr. Houseman apologizes to Johnny. He understands that he was wrong about him. The film ends with everyone dancing together, the guests and the staff, rich and poor, all dancing as one group. I love Dirty Dancing for many reasons. First, it tells a beautiful love story between two people from different worlds. Johnny and Baby learn from each other and grow together. Second, the film has amazing music. Songs like "Time of My Life," "Hungry Eyes," "She's Like the Wind." The dancing is also incredible. Patrick Swayze, who plays Johnny, was a real dancer, and he moves with such grace and power. The film also talks about important social issues like class differences, women's rights, and personal freedom. But it does this in a way that is entertaining and moving. Every time I watch Dirty Dancing, I feel happy. It reminds me of my teenage years when I first fell in love. It makes me want to dance. I have watched this film more than 20 times, and I still enjoy it every time. I even took dancing lessons because of this film. I wanted to learn to dance like Baby. The dancing was hard, but fun. I never managed to do the famous lift, though. It is too difficult. Dirty Dancing is more than just a film for me. It is part of my life. It shows that with love, courage, and hard work, you can overcome obstacles and find happiness. Now, let's check on your understanding. Answer these questions. Who are the two main characters in Dirty Dancing? The two main characters in Dirty Dancing are Baby, Francis Houseman, and John Castle. Where does the story take place? The story takes place at Kellerman's Resort in the Catskills Mountains in New York. Why does Baby need to learn to dance with Johnny? Baby needs to learn to dance with Johnny because Penny is pregnant and cannot perform in an important show. Baby offers to replace her. What does Johnny say when he comes back at the end of the film? Johnny says, "Nobody puts Baby in a corner." Why do I love this film? I love this film because it tells a beautiful love story between people from different worlds. It has amazing music and dancing. And it discusses important social issues in an entertaining way. If you have answered correctly to all the questions, you have done a very good job. Keep working and see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is my favorite dish, Sicilian baked pasta. After the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the key information. Are you ready? Let's begin. I love this dish very much. It brings back so many wonderful memories from my childhood. And now I make it for my own family. I first learned about this amazing dish when I was a girl. My grandmother was from Sicily, a beautiful island in the south of Italy. She moved to our city when she was young, but she always kept her Sicilian traditions, especially in the cooking. Every Sunday, our whole family would go to her small house for lunch. And almost always, she made her special baked pasta. I remember waking up on Sunday mornings and feeling so excited. I knew we would visit Grandma that day. My parents, my brother, and I would get dressed in our nice clothes. Then we would drive to Grandma's house. Even before we opened the door, we could smell the wonderful aroma of her cooking. Grandma's kitchen was not very big, but it was always warm and full of delicious smells. She had an old wooden table in the middle of the room. When we arrived, She was usually busy at the stove. She wore a simple blue apron with small flowers on it. Her face was always happy when she saw us. "Come in," she would say with her special accent. Then she would give us all big hugs and kisses on both cheeks. My brother and I would run to look at the oven. We wanted to see if the baked pasta was ready. Now, let me tell you about this wonderful dish. Sicilian baked pasta, or pasta al forno siciliana in Italian. This is a very special and traditional dish. It is not just a simple pasta with sauce. No, it is more complex and rich. The dish is actually quite simple to prepare, but very delicious. First, you need pasta, usually anelletti. This type of pasta is perfect because they hold the sauce well. Then you need a good tomato sauce with meat. I like to use beef in my sauce, just like my grandmother did. But some people also use pork or a mixture of different meats. The sauce is very important. My grandmother taught me to start with olive oil, garlic, and onions. You cook them until they're soft and golden. Then you add the meat and cook it well. After that, you add tomatoes, a little bit of sugar to reduce acidity, salt, pepper, and herbs like basil. The sauce needs to cook slowly for at least 1 hour. This way, all the flavors mix together perfectly. But the most important part of Sicilian baked pasta is the cheese. You need 2 types of cheese, mozzarella and parmesan. The mozzarella becomes melted and streaky. The parmesan gives a strong, salty flavor. Some people also add a third cheese called caciocavallo, which is a traditional Sicilian cheese, but it can be hard to find in other countries. Another special ingredient in my grandmother's recipe was eggplant. She would cut eggplants into small cubes, fry them until they were golden, and then add them to the pasta. The eggplants give a sweet, unique flavor that makes the dish truly Sicilian. Some versions of this dish also include peas, hard-boiled eggs, and even ham or salami. My grandmother sometimes added these ingredients, especially for special occasions like Easter or Christmas. But her everyday version was simpler. To make this dish, I first cook the pasta in a large pot of salted water. It's important not to cook it for too long because it will continue to cook in the oven. We call this al dente in Italian, which means the pasta is cooked but still a bit firm. After draining the pasta, I mix about a half of the tomato sauce and some of the cheese in the large bowl. Then I prepare a big baking pan. I put a little of the sauce on the bottom of the pan so the pasta doesn't stick. Then I add half of the pasta mixture. On the top of that, I put a layer of sliced mozzarella, small spoonfuls of grated Parmesan. If I'm using eggplants or ingredients ingredients, I add them in this layer too. After that, I add the rest of the pasta and cover everything with the remaining sauce. On top, I put more mozzarella and Parmesan cheese. On the top layer, cheese will become golden and slightly crispy in the oven, which gives a wonderful contrast to the soft pasta underneath. Then I put in the oven at about 307 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius for approximately 30 minutes. I know it's ready when the top is golden brown and the edges are bubbling. When the pasta comes out of the oven, it's important to let it rest for about 10 minutes. This makes it easier to serve and it won't be too hot to eat. The smell that fills the house is absolutely amazing. A mix of tomatoes, cheese, and herbs that makes everyone hungry. The moment of cutting into the baked pasta is special. You can see all the layers, the melted cheese that stretches as you lift each piece, and the rich sauce. The top is a little bit crispy and the inside is soft and warm. Each bite has so many flavors. The tangy tomato sauce, the rich cheese, the pasta that has absorbed all the wonderful tastes. Just like my grandmother, I usually make this dish on Sundays. It has become a tradition in my family too. My children love it as much as I did when I was their age. They often help me prepare it. My daughter likes to grate the cheese, and my son helps me mix the pasta with the sauce. It's a nice way to spend time together and teach them about cooking. When we sit down to eat, we always have a big green salad after the pasta. The fresh, crisp salad is perfect. We also have fresh bread to clean our plates after we finish. We don't want to waste any of that delicious sauce. My husband says I make the baked pasta almost as well as my grandmother did. I take this as a big compliment because my grandmother was an amazing cook. I still remember her hands, quick and sure as she prepared the ingredients. She never used recipes or measuring cups. She knew exactly how much each ingredient to use just by looking and feeling. I have tried to teach my children the same way. Cooking is not just about following a recipe. It's also about understanding the ingredients, knowing how they work together, and adjusting as needed. It's about cooking with love and patience. My grandmother passed away 10 years ago, but her recipes and traditions live on in our family. Every time I make her baked pasta, I feel like she's with us. Food has this special power to connect us with our past and with the people we love. In Sicily, food is more than just nutrition. It's a way to show love, to bring people together, and to celebrate life. Meals are not rushed. People take time to enjoy food and company. This is something I try to maintain in my family, even though our lives are often busy and hectic. When friends visit our home, I often make Sicilian baked pasta for them. It's always a success. People ask for the recipe, and I happily share it. But I always tell them that the most important ingredient is love. You need to take your time and enjoy the process of cooking. I have tried many versions of baked pasta in restaurants, but none of them taste as good as homemade. Maybe it's because they don't have memories and love that go into the dish when I make it at home. Another thing I love about this dish is that it's perfect for big gatherings. You can prepare it in advance and just put it in the oven when your guests arrive. It's also great as leftovers. Sometimes I think it tastes even better the next day. In summer, I sometimes make a lighter version with fresh tomato instead of sauce and add zucchini and bell peppers. In winter, I make a richer version with more meat and cheese. It's a versatile dish that can be adapted to different seasons and occasions. Cooking traditional recipes like Sicilian baked pasta is a way to keep our cultural heritage alive. It connects me to my roots, to my grandmother's homeland, even though I have only visited Sicily a few times. Through food, I feel a connection to generations of women in my family who cooked these dishes before me. I hope that when my children grow up, they will continue this tradition. Maybe they will add their own touches to the recipe, and that's okay. Recipes evolve over time, just like families do. But the essence of the dish and the love that goes into making it should remain the same. So, that's the story of my favorite dish, Sicilian baked pasta. It's more than food to me. It's a memory of my grandmother, a tradition in my family, and a way to show love to the people I care about. Every time I eat it, I feel happy and at home. Now, let's check on your understanding. Answer these questions. Where did my grandmother come from? My grandmother came from Sicily, an island in the south of Italy. What are the two main types of cheese used in Sicilian baked pasta? The two main types of cheese used are mozzarella and parmesan. Why do I cook the pasta for a shorter time than usual? Because the pasta will continue to cook in the oven. On which day of the week do I usually make this dish? On Sundays, just like my grandmother did. What is the most important ingredient for me in this recipe? The most important ingredient is love. If you have answered correctly to all the questions, you have done a good job. Keep working and see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to this slow English listening for beginners. Today's topic is From My Window. After the story, I will ask you some questions to check on your understanding. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the key information. Are you ready? Let's begin. I live in a small town near Palermo in Sicily. My house is old, but I love it. It belonged to my grandmother, and I have lived there for 15 years now. From my window, I can see many things. First, I can see a small garden. In my garden, there are 3 lemon trees. The lemons are big and yellow. I use them to make limoncello, a special Italian drink. I also grow tomatoes, basil, and rosemary. In spring, I plant beautiful red flowers. Their name in Italian is geraniums in English. Next to my garden, there's a little square. In Italy, they call it piazza. In the morning, many people come to the square. Old men sit on benches and talk about politics, football, and the weather. They drink espresso from small cups. Children play with balls and ride bicycles. Sometimes there is a man who sells fruit and vegetables from his truck. His name is Giuseppe, and he comes every Tuesday and Friday. He has the best oranges in town. I can also see a church. It is old, maybe 300 years old. The church has a big clock tower. Every hour the bell rings. I can hear it clearly from my window. On Sunday mornings, many people go to church. They wear nice clothes and carry prayer books. After church, they often stop at a small cafe for coffee or ice cream. Behind the church, I can see the mountains. They are beautiful, especially at sunset when they look red and orange. In the winter, sometimes there is snow on the top of the mountains. In summer, they look dry and brown. Many people from town go hiking on these mountains on weekends. In the distance, I can see some houses. They are all different colors: white, yellow, pink, and blue. Many houses have flowers on their balconies. Some have small vegetable gardens on their roof. This is typical in Sicily. Most houses have satellite dishes for television. At night, I can see the lights in the windows. When it's summer, I can see the sea. It's far, but on clear days, I can see the blue water shining in the sun. Sometimes I can even see small boats. In July and August, many tourists come to our beaches. They swim, sunbathe, and eat ice cream. The water is warm and clean. I love sitting by my window in the morning with a cup of coffee. I watch people go to work or school. I see my neighbors walking their dogs. Sometimes my neighbor Maria waves from her window across the street. She is an old lady, maybe 80 years old, and she makes the best cannoli in town. Maria has a cat named Luna. Luna is black and white. She likes to sit on Maria's windowsill and watch the birds. Sometimes I see other animals too: dogs, birds, and occasionally a fox that comes from the mountains at night. The weather in my town is usually warm. In summer, it's hot, sometimes 40 degrees Celsius. I keep my windows open at night to catch the cool breeze from the sea. In winter, it rains a lot, but it rarely snows. When it does snow, all the children play in the square and build snowmen. Across the square, there's a small shop that sells bread. The baker, Antonio, starts work very early at 4 o'clock in the morning. I can smell the fresh bread when I open my window. Next to the baker, there is a pharmacy and a small supermarket. On Saturdays, there is a market in the square. People sell clothes, shoes, bags, and local products like cheese, olive oil, and honey. It's very busy and noisy. I like to buy fresh cheese and olives from the market. Sometimes I buy flowers for my house too. Near my house, there is a primary school. I can hear the children playing in the schoolyard during their break time. They laugh and shout and play games. The school bell rings at 8:30 in the morning and again at 1:30 in the afternoon when school finishes. In the evening, young people meet in the square. They talk, they laugh, and they eat ice cream. In summer, there are often small concerts or festivals in the square. People play traditional Sicilian music and dance. From my window, I can also see the bus stop. The bus comes 4 times a day. In the morning, at noon, in the afternoon, and in the evening. It goes to Palermo, the big city. Many people take this bus to go to work or to go shopping. At night, the town is quiet. I can see the stars and sometimes the moon from my window. The street lights make the square look magical. Sometimes I hear music from a small restaurant near the church. People eat dinner there, drink wine, and enjoy the evening. In autumn, I see the leaves changing colors and falling from the trees. The mountains look beautiful with red, orange, and yellow colors. People in my town collect mushrooms and chestnuts from the forest on the mountains. In my town, everybody knows everybody. When people pass by my window, they often say buongiorno, good morning, or buonasera, good evening to me. I like this friendly atmosphere. It makes me feel at home. My window is a connection to the world. I see seasons change, people come and go, festivals and celebration. I can see life happening in my small town. And even though it's a small place, there is always something interesting to see from my window. Now, let's check on your understanding. Answer these questions. Where do I live? I live in a small town near Palermo in Sicily. What do I grow in my garden? I have lemon trees, tomatoes, basil, rosemary, and geraniums. How often does Giuseppe come to sell fruit and vegetables? He comes twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday. What can I see in the distance on clear days? I can see the sea and sometimes small boats. What happens in the square on Saturdays? There is a market where people sell clothes, shoes, bags, and local products. Okay, if you have answered correctly to all the questions, you have done a good job. Keep working and see you next time. Bye-bye.